I gotta send this link out. You dig it? We got a good show. Word. Okay. Get Mika back up in here. Let's go here. Oh, wait. Lisa, what up? Welcome back.
What's going on?
Ain't nothing. Waiting on everybody to get up in here. I'm still sending these. Okay, there's Eb. Okay, waiting on John, and I'm gonna send this this code over to Mika.
Okay.
Just check the message, but she ain't checked in, so she probably be in on this one too. Eb, go ahead. What you wanted to start with?
Well, it's more like a little theory of mine. I went down a rabbit hole, so just follow me.
Okay.
Right now, the ones that are dying are the warrior class. You know what I'm saying? Think of it like this. Not all Africans, we're not a monolith, not even over there. You had some that were royalty, some that worked, some that fought. You know, there was a warrior class. Back then, they knew who their enemies were. We got a whole warrior class that could possibly help further our generations on killing each other because they don't know who the enemy is.
How you define the warrior class? Is it by age, or what is the definition? What's the criteria to be
Some people are, I put like this, some people are just born to be fighters.
Okay.
And, I mean,
in the military.
You could be a young fighter or old fighter. The point is, you know, you're fighting. Now, the last warrior class we had was like the Black Panthers and stuff like that. Militants, people who was going against and bucking against the system. That was our last warrior class. This is our warrior class. But they shooting them down. They killing down anybody that could be a leader, or they've already poisoned them. They poison future generations to the point that our warrior classes is fucked up. We don't have.
I wouldn't call these pieces of shit warrior class. I literally don't want to take any like responsibility for these niggas like at all, because to like in whatever civilization, whatever warriors, you just don't wake up one morning and say I'm a warrior. No, motherfucker, you got to go through these ranks. You gotta go fucking smack a lion on the ass. You got to go out in the wilderness for a week, and you better bring back a fucking buffalo and 2 side bitches or something. But there, you know what I'm saying? But you just can't wake up one morning and be like, I'm a warrior because I want to. And that's what these niggas are doing. Right.
We don't have warriors anymore. We only got soldiers because they basically, I put like this, the right fight has been bred out of them.
Well, how much of that is like actually our fault? Like, I definitely think that we've played a part in that warrior class declining and them just being soldiers. I think that while we talk about white folks, and you know, I think their ass we don't need to be doing nothing with them. We need to get away from them and all that shit. But we're responsible. We're responsible for these generations. Like, no bullshit. Like, we have failed these kids. These kids they are warriors. They're warriors and they're soldiers, but they're not given any direction. Nobody's teaching them. We too busy trying. All we talk to them about is getting money. So when what you've made God and what you made important is money and material things. When you look at the Black Panthers, that shit didn't mean nothing to them. When you look at the civil rights movement, like, people lost their jobs, like they lost their livelihoods, but you had a whole community that stood behind them and made sure that what they were lacking, they didn't have much, but they put what they all had together to ensure that everybody who was in that fight was able to still fight and survive with their family and all. We don't do that shit. So
you're right.
I take issue with the fact that when we talk about these kids, first of all, we need to talk about them with some love and some empathy and some compassion and understanding, because we have fucked them up. We have failed them, and we need to do a better job of directing them, because their energy is dope as hell. And if we get them to a point where they're actually able to focus on something that's beneficial, man, they'll kill all these people. They'll do just what John said. But we're so busy on talking about chasing a fucking bag. Like 47 years old, you hear folk talk, I'm chasing the bag. I'm just trying to get this bag. Motherfucker, that bag ain't shit when you look at the way the world is when it comes to your grandchildren, your children, and what's going on with these kids. And at some point, we have to say, fuck a bag. Let's check this other shit, and we're gonna have to figure out the bag in a minute. And I think the bag right now, the checking the bag right now is an issue for us, and it's allowing us to fail our children.
Right on.
There you go.
So you know, I was just to kind of go along. Well, this is what I was thinking. What Ebony was saying. I don't think these kids today are soldiers or warriors. They're rebels. But then, you know, a couple of days ago, I was listening to some documentaries about the GDs and about the Stones and this and that. And it's always the same story. And it's a story of rebellion. You know, some of them will say, well, I joined the gang because I like the lifestyle. Other ones will say, oh, because they didn't give me this, they didn't give me that. So I went and did this. It's a rebellion thing. It's like, you know, they're just rebels without a cause. And I know that's cliche to say it, but that's exactly what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're talking about 50 years ago when these black gangs that exist today, I mean, all them that started in the 60s, it's been the same thing. It just evolved. They were still killing black people then. That's one thing that nobody ever wants to discuss. Mm-hmm. See, now they'll sit up there and say, well, it started out, it was supposed to be about community, blah, 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 blah. But the other side was they were still killing black people. So the problem that exists today has always been here, and we've always swept it under the rug. We've always had beef. Hold on, I'm gonna say one thing. I'm gonna say something real quick. We've always had a beef with the police. Now that beef is arguably legitimate. I get that. But when shit get in a tight and somebody fucking with you or somebody did this and that, then the same motherfuckers that we got to call to come and give us some kind of justice or come and lock some people up that did you and your people wrong. This has been the same issue that's been ongoing, to my knowing, for at least 50 years with black folks in these fucking gangs. And they'll sit up there and say everything good about them. Oh, free so-and-so, free this one, free that one. These motherfuckers are the heads of organizations who have killed thousands of black people and are still doing it. But we never want to bring it to the forefront. And that, to me, is a really big problem that needs to be stopped. This is why, though, what John was just saying, were those niggas over there that was up in Oak Brook Mall, I have a hard time believing that either one of them, the guy that got shot or the guy that did the shooting, was honest stand-up kids that worked a job and went to school. But let the mother tell it, oh, he went to church, he did this, he did that. It's the same story every fucking time. And it's getting old. And anybody with eyes can see it's the same story. But black folks, like, that's why I don't have, like what Alicia said, I don't have empathy for these niggas. Because when I was young, these are niggas that I had to worry about. Because I chose to go to school and work. I had to worry about these niggas come jumping on me for nothing. And I know I ain't the only one, but this is what they did to black people. They didn't go to white neighborhoods and terrorize them. They didn't go over there and rob them and bust up in their houses. They went right in their neighborhoods where other black people is just as poor as they are and stole and beat and robbed and murdered them. Now, when the fuck did we bring that up? When is that the forefront of the black community? How that needs to be addressed. And I'll tell you why it's not. I'm gonna say this, John, it's on you. I tell you why it's not. It's because it's a lot of our kids that are fucking doing it. And we know it. It's our kids that are doing it. Who else kids is gonna be? That's why I have no empathy for none of these niggas at all. I got empathy for y'all, people that's up working every day, minding their business, taking care of their responsibilities. I ain't got empathy for these fucking niggas. Motherfucker blow my head off. You think Black Lives Matter gonna come and ride for me in the street? Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna do shit. You think they gonna start a GoFundMe or some shit for me? Fuck no. Because I don't fit the fucking bill. I ain't over there with my hat turned, pants hanging off my ass, tattoos all over my fucking body. That ain't me. They ain't gonna do shit for me. These black people now. Black people ain't gonna do a damn thing for me if my head got blew off tonight. Except say, oh, prayers up, check on your people. That type of bullshit. It's so redundant and so fucking just, we fucked up. I ain't got nothing to say about it, man. I'm done. Shit. God damn. Get the whiskey. My bad.
Take what you say? Take a corner of the drink.
Take a corner of the whiskey. Nah, man.
All right.
Real, man.
I forgot what I was about to say earlier. So fuck it. I'm with you on the like sympathy and empathy. I have zero sympathy or empathy for these niggas. And here's the reason why. One, yep, I understand it's a problem with generational issues, and it's not, and yep, the child came into this world born into a situation that they are not responsible for, and they didn't get to choose their parents. Their parents fucked up. They're doing what they know. Yep, blah blah blah. At the same time, I don't give a fuck. I have children, and if that little motherfucker was to blow my child's head off, the last thing I would be thinking about is that child's issues and how they have problems and why that child is wayward. So. Fuck that child. Fuck that child. Fuck that child's mother.
Well,
fuck
first
that
of all,
child.
you all are speaking on like the shooting. I'm talking about well past, well before we get to them shooting. Like there's a fucking problem. There's a inherent problem. And
But
so if we don't correct that problem, Kennard, you just said, like it, picking on the shit. I remember growing up, I don't care how bad that kid was. You didn't pick on nobody, because if it was found out from the parents, you would have both parents meeting up there, and whoever was doing the bullying got their ass whooped in front of the principal, the teacher, and whoever they was bullying. They were made to apologize, and they were forced to get along with whomever was bullying. That's not the case now, because you have these fucking parents who don't teach their children consequences. They don't teach them how to get along with people. They don't teach them conflict resolution. They don't teach them shit. So you have kids. When I say empathy, God damn it, y'all better be empathetic to these kids, because it goes far past them killing. I have children. I'm concerned about my children, but I also know that I raised my children. I had a mother, brothers, uncles, cousins. I didn't raise my kids by myself. Their father, like they had people that were able to what I was lacking, or where I may have misstepped. They had other people to do that. Where these kids don't have that. They don't even have a motherfucker to tell them to eat a motherfucking regular meal. And y'all want these kids out here to act like they ain't fucking animals? Like that's what they're being bred to do. So when I say we need to have empathy for them, we want to get to them before they get to the point where they're doing all this shit. But we have failed them, because we have people that are not teaching them. They're not teaching them not to bully. They're not teaching them that there's value in life. They're not teaching them anything other than get a bag, talk slick. Y'all see it. Y'all see these damn Facebook posts with these little boys. Ain't even two yet. Pants hanging off, hat bang, Jordans on. Motherfucker don't know shit about no ABCs, don't know how to spell their name or nothing, but they got on the slickest gear and they can sing songs. You see these little girls on TikTok, on Facebook, all these places, they doing grinding, popping their ass and all. None of that stuff.
Let me ask you, and I ain't trying to sound sexist or nothing, but on some real shit, do you think that all of that shit, okay, I could find a video. Matter of fact, I seen a video of a little girl, she's about 5 years old, popping her ass. And then with number of females standing around applauding this shit.
I hate that shit.
That's a fucking problem.
But you've seen that. Now, here's my next question.
I might not have seen that one, but I seen one like that. It's not an uncommon thing now. You know what I'm saying?
Now, here's my next question. Do you think that would have happened if the dad was there? Even if he wasn't in her life.
Honestly, I've seen some of those videos where it depends on how old the father is. Like some of these younger fathers, they're encouraging the shit. Like because again,
their daughters a twerk. I don't believe that.
I've seen it. And let me tell you why they're doing it. Let me tell you why they're doing it. Because again, you have these young guys. First of all, I'm a firm believer in roles. Y'all know that. Yeah. You have the roles are switched now. You have very masculine women who are basically they taking over these guys. So they handling them like they women. And the woman is being a man. So I've seen it's been very few cases where I've seen like young guys and they're in the crowd. They may or may not have been the father, but they're in the crowd and they're watching this shit go on. I have a problem with anybody because I could be around my mother, my grandmother, my cousins, and my auntie. My daughter at 20 couldn't be twerking and shit in front of me because what are you doing?
But you know,
What are we doing?
I
But
get,
at 3 and 5, if you got all these elders, you got all these women around, and ain't none of them telling this baby that this wrong, and they ain't talking to this mom. It's something you need to throw them all out. They need to
That's a
all go.
failure.
You
That's
need
a
to all go.
generational failure
You
right
need to
there.
all go because you have a group of women where not one of them has the wherewithal or the common sense to know that that baby shouldn't be doing that. Like that's not appropriate. That like even some of the songs that I see these kids dancing to, why? Why are you even playing this in their that they should not know nothing about no sneaky link. They should know about nothing about what's his name? Kevin Gates talking about licking nobody in the asshole. Why are you playing this
What?
shit? Oh
yes.
baby, yeah. Kevin Gates. Oh, I love that song. Me too.
Ugh.
Anyway,
Um,
ooh,
I just want to investigate. So somebody send it to me because I'm
I'm
curious.
seeing you two
I
of my
never
favorites.
heard. I don't listen to Kevin Gates. He like a fucking weirdo.
Well, I don't necessarily listen to him, but he got 2 songs that I really kind of like. But I know that those songs are very vulgar, and I
He
have a
he
problem with you playing them in front of kids. Like those songs are not like I remember growing up. Like there were certain things that you couldn't watch. Like kids couldn't be in. You can't watch this. You're not old enough to watch that. You can't listen to that. You're not old. And it's like everything's a free fall for these kids now. And you wonder why they behaving like they do. Like you 5 years old and you listen to a song talking about fucking, licking, shooting. Like what are you expecting that
touching
they're
the
going to be
dingly
like?
thing in the back of your throat. I mean, what?
That's
Well,
my tonsils.
No, that's called your uvula.
Jeez.
But but anyway, these little girls out here talking about how they want somebody to touch that little dingly thing in the back of their throats.
Wow.
Them sinners. That's why. This is
Did you call them some goddamn sinners?
I'm with you on this one, Kennard. They're fucking sinners. You got that right.
You know what? Real
I'm just saying, but it's a problem because I don't care. I don't think like I think that it's very important for fathers to be. I think that's paramount when you're talking about raising children. The father should definitely be there. However, there is no fucking excuse to let that go on, even when the father's not around, because you know goddamn well that baby ain't got no business. First of all, she's still in the goddamn diaper, popping her ass. Why is that? Why is that a thing to do? Why is that acceptable? And even if there's no father around, you know better. So to me, that's no excuse. You're training, you're grooming your child to be a fucking hoe.
straight up.
Basically.
And it's
That's what you're grooming her for.
Grooming them to be
It's
like their
going to be
mama.
a generation of little thoughts in training and well-dressed dummies.
and niggas in training, gangsters and
Right.
thugs in training.
Right.
Because this is all that's all they want to know. We live in the information age. There's shit out there. If you want to learn how to build a house, you want to learn how to fucking work on a car, you can study and find out how to do that.
That ain't everybody's calling though. Everybody can't get on.
Calling. I'm not debating that. I understand that completely. However, it's accessible to you. There was a point in time where we couldn't read books. We couldn't get knowledge. We couldn't get information. The only thing we got was shit that was passed down and translated and watered down. And we took that as knowledge. Now we can go and do research on our own at our own fingertips and find out whatever it is that we want to find out about. We want to start a business. We want to do this. We want to do that. You know, like I was just thinking about the other day. I was talking to my wife, I think yesterday or the day before. And we was talking about like black businesses, and amid this pandemic, it still ain't no black businesses and this and that. And then I started thinking about the PPP loans. All these black folks is going out getting the PPP loans. That was the perfect opportunity right there to go and start a black business.
Why do y'all say that there's not a lot of black? I know a lot of black owned business. I'm a black owned. I have 2 black owned businesses. I know plenty of them. I know plenty of black people that have black owned business.
I'm not saying
I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send them to you. I'm gonna send them to you. I got a lot of black owned business in Chicago. I own 2 black owned business. I have cousins that have black owned business. Like I have cousins that have never, even before the pandemic, they've never held a job. They've always been entrepreneurs. My brother's an entrepreneur. You know, I think that we're too fucking judgmental. Like I just think we're too judgmental. And I think we only no you can't, because just what you said, that's not even a fair statement, because I just told you, I'm like, well, yeah, they are black. There's plenty of black businesses, but
I think you're not counting everything. Like barbershops has always been a staple.
That's a black business, indefinitely. But this is what niggas will do. Niggas will sit up and bitch and moan and talk about we ain't got this, we ain't got that. Well, the shit's laid out on a table for you to get it. Well, I just did a video about this shit, talk about opportunities. They laying shit out right now. Motherfuckers always talking about they ain't giving us this, they ain't giving us that. Right now, today, is plenty of opportunities to go out there and get what the fuck you want to get. Now,
why are you assuming that people aren't doing that though?
Look around.
Again, I just told you my situation. I know I have two businesses. I'm a business owner. I know plenty of Black-owned businesses. So I'm basing off my circle and my environment, what I know. I'm saying, why do you think that why people are not taking it? Well, but again, that's one-sided because again, I know plenty of Black-owned business and I know they're thriving. Whereas you saying people don't take opportunities. Like, who are these people you're talking about, sir?
It's clearly it's gotta be some people out here. Thanks, Ev. I appreciate
the nigga class.
The nigga class. These niggas out here.
But you can't. But you don't count them among us, because niggas are gonna do nigga shit. So don't you? When we talk about Black folk, let's talk about Black folk. When you talk about niggas, they separate, because niggas are gonna do nigga shit.
True,
and I think it's unfair.
Do nigga shit.
Right. So why are we lumping Black-owned? You didn't say nigga-owned businesses. We said Black-owned business.
Right.
And you lumping the niggas and the Black folks together. Niggas gonna always do nigga shit. Niggas ain't just exclusive to us. They ain't just exclusive to Black people. Niggas is in all colors. So niggas gonna do nigga shit, and we need to let niggas do nigga shit. But Black folks, I know plenty of Black folks that have gotten those PPP loans and have actually started really good business. And I know Black people that had business before that, and they're thriving. They're thriving. They really are.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, yeah, you're right about that. I did.
But let's talk about the niggas then. We're gonna put them niggas over there in that class, so we can talk about them separately from Black folk. I think that's fair.
Well,
it's different. Okay, it's different types of Black folks. We got Black folks. We got niggas. We got coons and
what's a coon?
Shit.
Oh.
You said what's a coon?
So what's a coon?
A coon is one of them Black people who are so immersed in white supremacy that they support it.
Wouldn't that be the gangbangers?
No.
That's different.
A coon will get on TV and say Black racism don't exist.
Okay.
A coon will get on TV and say and praise George Zimmerman and said, and praise him for shooting Trayvon Martin.
Okay.
Right.
Larry
Niggas
Elder.
only talk about basic nigga shit that affect like the 2 blocks surrounding it. A coon will try to speak for all niggas in all manner of fucking Black shit, and therefore give white people a larger understanding of what they think Black. So a coon is way more dangerous than an ignorant nigga. Way more dangerous than a nigga.
That's very good, John. I agree with that. You
gotta do what I can.
Right.
Okay, this is what I gotta say.
That's my one. I don't have no more until
It was
2022.
somebody from the past that was talking. It was somebody from the past. I think it was Maya Angelou. She said it. The Black bourgeoisie, as they like to call themselves, are the most dangerous.
How?
That makes sense.
Those are coons because they don't liken themselves to other Black people. They feel like, since they made it, we all can make it. And basically, they hate niggas. They hate Black people. No, I'm not going to say they hate niggas. They hate Black people.
They use the term
other Black people.
us and y'all. And us means that
That's not what we do
is
right
referring
now.
to white folk. No. But us, when they say us, they're referring to the white folks, and they're equating themselves to
Ben
the white
Carson
folks.
is a coon.
Yes.
Okay.
He was
Ben
a coon.
Carson he died, right?
Yeah, he died of COVID, girl.
Oh, well,
Really? Oh, right. Good job.
Because
Dead motherfucker.
Yeah, he
what's
died.
dude name? Larry Elder, Herman Cain.
Hey, what is that? No, I think Herman Cain died. Hold on, let me see. One of them died.
Yeah, so I know Herman Cain died. The Ben Carson died.
Hold on, let me see. Let me see if he died.
Okay, Ed, would you consider Michael Strahan a coon?
No.
I'm sorry, I killed off Ben Carson. Bill Carson is still alive, y'all.
I
killed him prematurely. I'm sorry.
I killed him. He dead to me. Shit, I don't really care.
We both killed him. I'm sorry, Ben.
You know what? I'm gonna be real with y'all when I say this. Is that I have empathy for the so-called coons that y'all talking about, and I say this.
Why they don't got no empathy for you?
That's fine.
Which one? Which coon are you talking about?
I don't feel that for me, but I feel it for them. More so than I would feel, because that's the last person that you got to worry about coming and busting.
You have an empathy for somebody who would rather see you dead than be lumped with you.
I don't see it that way. That's not my perception of what y'all calling a coon. My percent, what y'all say it is, what y'all say it is, fine. But to me, the coons is the motherfuckers that's out here doing drive-bys and selling us dope every day. The motherfuckers that's been doing this shit for at least 50 years. Those are fucking.
Okay, here's the way I see
my
it.
opinion.
Okay, from what I'm right, going from what you just said. So it seems to be the coon will be the one who can do the most physical damage to black people.
Exactly.
Is that a fair?
Yeah.
Okay. The Ben Carson still falls. Okay. In that the nigga class, let's just say every nigga
They
kills
hurting them in
fucking
different
10
ways.
niggas a day.
They harmful in different ways.
Right. Every nigga kills 10 niggas a day. That has no bearing on the shit. Fuck. Just the Iraq and Afghanistan wars alone kill way more fucking people than any nigga has ever killed in all cities, during all drive-bys, in all time. So public policy, foreign policy, healthcare policy, all that shit, those not Republicans, those politicians who wear suits have done way more as far as killing people than any nigga has ever done with a gun, ever, and ever could do with a gun.
I'm not going to debate that, and I believe that to be true, but at the same time, when you got people on ground level that's adding to those numbers, it doesn't make it any better. We can't control what people, we can control who we put in office by going to the polls, by voting. We can't control that, but that's our personal choice if we choose to go to the polls. That's up to us. There's a lot of us that don't vote. That for whatever reason, that's fine. That's your choice. Do what you do. However,
my total opinion is voting only matters to black people on local levels.
Then let's do that. But either way, we have a say on who gets in office, but we don't come with no demands. We don't come with no game plan. Like I said, I went through the last ballot, and I'll never do this again. I went through the whole ballot list, and I picked out everybody who sounded like they were black based on the strength that I'll give another black person a job. And now look what we in. Now we're getting ready to we're getting ready to fucking go through inflation. They're giving away all this free money. The value of a dollar is getting shorter by the day. The prices and shit and everything is going up. And this is under black politicians, a lot of black politicians out there right now. And not to say that black folks is completely to blame for it, but when I hit that ballot, when I sent that ballot in, that's who I voted for on the premises of that, trying to look out for my people. And this is what I get in return. I get.
Well, let me say this, Kennard. Like at the end of the day, like it really chaps my hat. I think you can appreciate that.
Okay.
Chaps my hat.
Chaps my hat. That for you to even say that, like, first of all, we can all agree that those policies and shit, they were in place well before we voted these folks in the offices. In there now, that shit was already on the move, already on the go. The shit has already been in place. So those things were happening. When you talk about the coons, like John said, like some of these people they're not voted in. These are people that they find that coon, and so they speak, they allow them to speak for the black people. So you have these people that may not be in office. They may not hold any kind of position necessarily, but they're speaking. And so they take what they're saying and they speak for the black folks. So they say shit that is harmful, and the harmful things that they say allow them to push these bullshit ass policies through. And some of it, definitely, I agree with you. Like, we don't hold our politicians accountable, especially on a local level. We don't, I mean, even like in Chicago, I'm guilty of it too. Well, I was guilty of it until I knew better, till I found out that I had some say and what being a homeowner and what being, even living in those districts, you hire those aldermen, those alderwomen, and we don't even require them to fucking fix the streets. Like, the streets can be raggedy as shit. You can have empty houses, vacant lots, shit just all over everywhere, and we don't even call the alderwoman to complain. We don't feel like, for whatever reason we don't do it. We have to be better. We have to do better by that, because we're not requiring, they're not going to give us anything, and we're not requiring anything. And so at some point we have to require, but we also have to ask, even if I'm not requiring, I know you see the state of this community. So because you won't fix it by yourself, we need to find people that are interested in the community. They have an investment in that community and they care about what's going on, and get these folks that, you get all these people with these sound bites. Like I'm not going to even mention the alderwoman's name, but she used to come up to our job. Now we were having something on 63rd Street. She comes with some Chanel shoes on. She had on a Chanel dress. She had on some red bottom shoes, carrying a Louis Vuitton with some Gucci shades on.
Must be
We
nice.
on 63rd Street. How fucking insulting is that when you're talking to people about poverty, when you're talking about um, being disenfranchised, when you're talking about lack of health care, no health care, little health care, whatever. So this is the outfit that you present in when you're talking to people that are fucking hungry. Like that, and these are the people that we're putting into office, and you don't even like. It doesn't give you pause to say, "Let me put on a pair of jeans and some sneakers and a t-shirt and go out here and talk to these people." You come in here with at least $3,000 on you, at least. And I'm being generous when I'm saying that. But you come into this community and you talk like that, and the first thing out of a lot of people's mouth, they want to shake her hand. I'm looking like, this bitch got to be shitting me. Like, I'm looking at what she got on, and I can't hear what she's saying because I'm looking at you're in one of the poorest neighborhoods in Chicago, and you step out, and you're an older woman for this neighborhood, and this is the shit you do. Like, we're and that's why I say we're
Do
failing
you
our
think that
kids
that
on
was?
so
Do
many
you think
levels.
she was being? Do you think that her dressing like that and her team, she was being tone deaf, or was that calculated? Because I think it was
No, I
calculated.
think she was being. I think it was tone deaf. But even with it being tone deaf, she still needs to go because you have to give thought to the people that you are serving. If that's the community that you're in charge of, and you're going to speak in this community, you cannot afford not to even be tone deaf to these people because if your level of if you're I don't even want to say if it's her level, but if you don't have enough common sense not to show up like that because of the community you serve, like, if you don't think that I'm going into this area, I need to tone it down. If that's not a thought for you when you put on your clothes, then I got a fucking problem with you because that means that every other decision that you make for this community is not predicated on what these people actually need. And it's evident in what you just did.
I agree, but I think it's from a different perspective. I think that because these politicians, they know how to read the room. So I think it was more calculated and like, you know what? I could go in there looking humble, but Black people like to see their leaders out here balling out.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna go out here. Yeah. I'm gonna ball out so they can look up to me and be like, oh man.
Right.
I think that her thought process was, you know what? These girls look up to me if they see me come out here with red bottoms, as opposed to see me come out here with a shovel or whatever they were doing that day. I don't know what they were doing. Whatever they were doing, you know what I'm saying? I could be wrong by that, but I think they're pandering pieces of shit, which is why they should all die.
They all pimps.
This is the black lady. I don't necessarily want to kill no black people right now.
But I'm sorry.
Okay, well, we'll put a pin in that.
This is why Kennard needs to watch Black Dynamite, the movie. Because remember that black woman was up there, she was saying all the right stuff about helping the community, clean up the community, get the crooked politicians out and everything. And all this dude went up there and did is talk loud and say 3 rhyming words, and everybody was hooked and voting for him.
So what was the subliminal in that?
Shit, politicians say what sounds good because he was like, you got to have a plan, you got to stick it to the man. Mm-hmm. And that's all he pretty much said, and they were clapping and yes, Jesus, and all of that stuff. I promise you.
I think it was more than that though, Ebony. It showed that like he sounded that shit. They were entertained. But nobody looked at his policies, and we do the same shit. You don't look at the policies, you don't look at none. You look at the person. If they sound good, if they make you feel good, if they look slick, they talk slick. Oh man, I'm voting for him. You don't know what his policies are. You don't know you don't know nothing about him, but you'll vote for him.
And see, that's probably
why vote for surface and the outward, not the actual the interior, the deepness.
I don't think in lieu of what's been happening recently, I don't think I'm gonna vote Democrat anymore.
I'm an independent. I think we need to stop calling ourselves with any of those parties. I think black folks need to distance themselves from parties, period.
I agree wholeheartedly, but I think to get there is a snowball's chance in hell because we're too fucking petty and we don't know how to unify unless it's for shooting up niggas or fucking whatever. But
when you say you won't when you say you won't be voting for Democrat anymore, could you please expound on that? What you mean?
You already know what I'm trying to say, bro.
That you're gonna be voting for Republican?
Well, I mean, I've thought about it honestly, but at the same time, that's fucked up too. I got chewed out about that one when I put that word out. I can't tell everybody this shit. But the truth of the matter is, it's like, we know that Illinois is a Democrat ran state. And the way motherfuckers is out here getting killed left and right, and it's just fucked up. And it's
But
like,
do you think that Democrats and Republicans are two different animals?
to a certain degree, yeah. Well,
You don't think that they're working in tandem with each other?
Sure they are, but they damn sure preach two
It's a
different.
two-headed snake, Kennard. Two-headed
What's the-
snake.
Yeah,
So
I think it's I scratch my back, you scratch mine. And I don't think that, when you look at like Democrats and Republicans, they talk all the shit they want to talk, but they still get the same. I mean, like it's the same shit. Like these red states are having the same issues these blue states are. They just blaming different people for it. And it's the parties. Them parties come together and they still getting paid. Like the Republicans are still getting paid just like them Democrats, and the shit is still the same. They're in Congress, they'll shut down Congress, they'll do all this other stuff, but nobody's actually meeting for the needs of the people. So I mean, even like, and there were black people, like initially black people were Republicans. I'm not gonna chew you out for either. I just think that when you claim a party, none of them parties give a fuck about you. None of them parties give a fuck about us, and it's all about them and what they can ascertain from whatever community they're in, and they're all in cahoots. Like they're working in tandem with each other to fuck us in the ass.
Well, it ain't just us; it's everybody else. It's all.
When I say us, I'm talking about American people collectively. I'm not just talking about black folks. They're looking to fuck all of us in the ass, and they're doing it together. And they keep, with chaos, you can't have building. You can't have togetherness. You can't, like, there's chaos. So you got people arguing about Democrats. You got people arguing about Republicans, but they both fucking us. But we all arguing about some shit that really don't matter because they're all harming American people. Like all their policies are harming us. It don't matter what state you're in. No, I don't. Why you need to turn the air on? I'm not hot. Girl, don't close my window because I'm getting a breeze. Yes, please. You can go home.
Well, we can make the same argument about racism.
What part of the Republican platform appeals to you?
Well, it's what I get from the Republicans that I have heard speak. What I get from them is more of an accountability, more of a realistic perspective, and that's where I'm coming from. I feel like,
Accountability
From the Republicans?
From the
all
Republicans.
they do is blame other people, except for the
But
truth.
the
They know the
Democrats
truth.
do the same shit. They do the
That's my
same
point.
shit.
So,
That's the
what's
point, though.
difference? If they both do the same thing, why would you choose one over another?
I'm picking
Right. That's what I'm trying to see. Like, what one thing has Republicans been consistently accountable for? Like, we've done this, and we've done this with. You already know. Like, leadership is, hey, you're responsible for the good and the bad. If you did great, congratulations, pat on the back. If you fucked up, hey, that's on me. I was in charge. That happened on my watch. So, what did the Republicans take accountability for, good or bad?
Well, I'm not saying take accountability. I'm saying they're preaching accountability.
Okay,
Democrats
are
don't
they
do all that.
practicing it? Are they practicing accountability? If they practice accountability, trust me, the wealth gap would not be so wide.
And see, that's why I didn't want to bring this shit up.
I'm just okay.
No, I'm just saying. This is why I don't want to bring it up. It's because, and I'm just saying what's in my mind. It's like, man, fuck these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers been, look, we know both sides is fucking over black folks. We know that. But these other motherfuckers, to me, is real blatant about it. They're real slick about it. And they sit up there and then we vote them in and they don't do a fucking thing. We had a black president in our lifetime for 8 years and we still in the same state. What do we gain from that?
Let me say this about Obama. You all, like, fuck the fact that y'all keep on saying he's the first black president. Everybody was involved by that shit.
My bad.
But even let's move past that. Anybody that sits in that seat, they're serving the same fucking system. I don't give a damn if you get somebody green sitting in that seat. They're serving the same system. It's the same rules, the same laws. I don't care who you sitting in there. So when you got Obama in there, and the caveat to that is we didn't require Obama to do a motherfucking thing, but the reality of it is, it don't matter who sits in that seat. They're serving the purpose and the Constitution that A, was not made for us, and B, they already have an agenda. So whoever sits in that seat is going to follow that agenda. So for us to talk about Obama, Trump, Bush, anybody, they're all sitting in that seat, but their agenda is already predated before they even got there. So I don't think like Republicans, Democrats, like they all fucking us. They all fucking us, and we need to find out who's doing what and what their policy is, and just strip away like the parties and actually look at who's saying what and who makes more sense, and just vote like that. Because I think we fucking up. We fucking up with the parties.
We had less.
Yes, we are.
I don't cut you off, bro, but we had less than a minute. It's gonna cut off. We're gonna go to part 3 in a couple of seconds, but waiting on Will. I don't know what's up with Mika tonight, but we flowing real well. So, and we just gonna roll forward like we always do. This the Uncommon Sense Show. The motherfucking bourbon is kicking in, Jack. And I ain't
Jack.
The bourbon is kicking in. Shit got me looking like goddamn, like I just came out the Waldorf Astoria in this motherfucker.
You looking at that glass real sexy, like Kennard. You looking at that glass real sexy.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how I
Kiss that
feel.
glass for a minute, Kennard.